Welcome, my dear learners, for this course on heat transfer. In this module 1, we were discussing on introductory concepts of heat transfer and one dimension steady state heat conduction. Moving ahead, in today's lecture, we are discussing about variable thermal conductivity. Coming for the concept of variable thermal conductivity, if the thermal conductivity of a material is constant without varying with the variation of temperature, then we have seen what is the equation for rate of heat transfer and temperature distribution for one dimension heat conduction through plane wall, through cylinder and also through sphere. In today's lecture, we are ready to discuss if the thermal conductivity varies with temperature, then what is the expression for temperature distribution and rate of heat transfer, and also we will be solving a numerical problem on variable thermal conductivity. Now, if I consider a plane wall with constant thermal conductivity, we have seen that the variation of thermal conductivity is given by, for a plane wall with length x is equal to L, if the thermal conductivity is constant, which is not varying with temperature, then we have seen the temperature gradient, which is as shown in the figure. For Q, we have now, if thermal conductivity varies with temperature, then we have the variation of temperature over the length L is given by, if the coefficient of thermal expansion is positive, then the temperature distribution will be like this. This is for beta is equal to 0. If K varies with temperature with beta is equal to negative, if beta is negative, then this is the temperature variation, where we have temperature T1, T2 over the length of the plane wall L, where x varies from 0 to L. For variable thermal conductivity, for variable thermal conductivity is a function of temperature, is given by K naught of 1 plus beta T. So this is the general expression for variable thermal conductivity, where thermal conductivity is a function of temperature, varies with variation of temperature, where beta is coefficient of thermal expansion and K naught is the thermal conductivity at temperature is equal to 0, at 0 temperature, where K naught is the thermal conductivity at 0 temperature and beta coefficient of thermal expansion degree Celsius inverse or Kelvin inverse. Now, we have to derive the expression for temperature distribution for heat transfer through plane wall. We have to derive expression for temperature distribution for heat transfer through plane wall for variable thermal conductivity, where thermal conductivity, which is a function of temperature, is given by K naught of 1 plus beta T. We have the one dimension steady state heat conduction without internal heat generation is given by d by dx of thermal conductivity is a function of temperature times dt by dx, which is equal to 0. If thermal conductivity is not a function of temperature, then thermal conductivity is taken as constant and taken it as outside and send it to RHS, we will have the same expression, that is d square T by dx square is equal to 0, which we have used to derive temperature distribution and rate of heat transfer through plane wall. Now substitute the value of variable thermal conductivity in this expression and solve. So if I substitute and solve, we have the value of variable thermal conductivity is K naught of 1 plus beta T times dt by dx is equal to 0. So now, if I integrate this equation, I will get we have missed out d by dx is equal to 0. So integrating above equation, integration and differentiation will get cancelled. I left out with k naught of 1 plus beta t dt by dx is equal to constant of integration c1, because of we are performing indefinite integral. Now rearrange the terms further. I left out k naught of 1 plus beta t dt is equal to c1 into dx. Again integrating, you will get the value as k naught of t plus beta t square by 2 is equal to c1x plus c2. Take it as equation number. Let us take this as equation number 1 itself. Let us take this as equation number 1. Now I want to find the constants c1 and c2. We have two boundary conditions. At x is equal to 0, temperature is T1. At x is equal to L, temperature is T2. So we have the boundary conditions. At x is equal to 0, temperature is T1. At x is equal to L, temperature is T2. This is the boundary condition for the plane wall with variable thermal conductivity as shown in the figure B. Let us take this as figure B, and this will be figure A. Now substitute the boundary conditions in equation 1 and solve. Substituting the boundary conditions in equation 1, put x is equal to 0, t is equal to t1, so we will get k naught of t1 plus beta t1 square by 2 is equal to c1 of 0 plus c2. Hence you get the value of c2 as k naught of t1 plus beta t1 square by 2. Now again from second boundary condition, in equation 1, you will get k naught of t2 plus beta t2 square by 2 is equal to c1 L plus c2. Hence the value of c1 will be k naught by L of t2 minus t1 plus beta by 2 t2 square minus t1 square. Just I substituted for c2 and simplified for c1. So this is the value of c1. Let us take this as equation 2 and this as equation 3. Substituting equation 2 and 3 in equation 1, I will get the expression as k naught of t plus beta by 2 t square is equal to c1x. So this will become k naught x by L of t2 minus t1 plus beta by 2 t2 square minus t1 square plus c2. c2 is k naught of t1 plus beta t1 square by 2. So this is what we have. LHS is equal to c1x plus c2. So now I can cancel off k naught. I will cancel off k naught, and if I simplify, so I will get the equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c. So I can reduce this as ax square, that is beta by 2 t square plus bx minus c. So the value of constant c is x by L times t2 minus t1 plus beta by 2 t2 square minus T1 square T1 plus beta by 2 T1 square, which is equal to 0. So if I take this here, it will become minus, so this is equal to 0. So this is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So therefore the roots of this equation is minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So hence, using the roots equation for quadratic equation, temperature distribution T is equal to minus b. B value is 1, so minus 1 plus or minus square root of b square. B square is 1 minus 4 into a. Value of a is beta by 2. 4ac. The value of c is this one. So if I take minus, it is minus of minus will become plus of x by L into T2 minus T1 plus beta by 2 T2 square minus T1 square plus T1 plus beta by 2 T1 square. This x by L is a multiplication factor for only this term. So this is under the root divided by 2a, 2 times beta by 2 minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. A value is beta by 2, b value is 1, and this is the value of c. So therefore, finally, the expression for temperature distribution is given by P is equal to minus 1 by beta minus 1 by beta plus or minus square root of, let me write it properly, temperature at any point x is equal to minus 1 by beta plus or minus 1 by beta square plus beta square, beta will get cancelled, it is 2 by beta, that is 2x 4ac. So here also you should have multiplication term. So therefore it will become 2 by beta whole multiplied by x by L of T2 minus T1 plus beta by 2 T2 square minus T1 square plus T1 plus beta by 2 T1 square. So this is the expression for, so we have continued that here. This triple dot stands for continuity, so I continued that here. So this is the expression for temperature distribution for variable thermal conductivity through a plain wall. Let me pause this video for a while so that you people can copy it down. Later we will solve for rate of heat transfer. Now moving ahead, we have determined the expression for temperature distribution. Now if I move for rate of heat transfer, you have to find the rate of heat transfer equation for variable thermal conductivity we have rate of heat transfer Q is equal to minus thermal conductivity, which is a function of temperature, times the area times dt by dx. Now, thermal conductivity is a function of temperature, which is known to us. Substituting for variable thermal conductivity, we have Q is equal to minus K naught of 1 plus beta T into area into dt by dx. So rearranging the terms, we will get Q into dx, which is equal to minus K naught of 1 plus beta T into area into dt. So now I can integrate the above equation, integrating for x, which varies from 0 to L, and temperature is varying from T1 to T2. So substitute the limits and integrate the above equation. We have integral of x from 0 to L dx, which is equal to minus K naught into area, integral of temperature from T1 to T2, 1 plus beta T dt. Now if I perform integration, I will get Q of x, limit is from 0 to L, which is equal to minus K naught times area, integration of constant is T, minus beta, integration is T square by 2, whereas temperature varies from T1 to T2. Now if I substitute and simplify, I will get Q into L is equal to minus K naught into area times upper limit minus lower limit is T2 minus T1 plus beta by 2, upper limit is T2 square minus lower limit is T1 square. Now if I simplify further, I will get minus K naught times area, we have T2 minus T1 plus beta by 2, T2 minus T1, T2 plus T1. Now throughout I can take T2 minus T1 common. This can be written as minus K naught into area. T2 minus T1 can be taken as common. I left it with 1 plus beta times T1 plus T2 by 2. Now if I write, I will get Q is equal to, send minus sign inside, we have K naught into area into T1 minus T2. Let us divide L here, area by L, into, we have 1 plus beta, let us call this as T mean. Now I can write K naught of 1 plus beta T mean as K mean, that is K mean times area into T1 minus T2 by L. So this I can write it as T1 minus T2 divided by L by K mean M. So this is of the form, rate of heat transfer is equal to delta T by resistance. Resistance for plane wall is L by Ka. For variable thermal conductivity it is Kma, where K mean is equal to K naught of 1 plus beta T mean, where T mean is nothing but T1 plus T2 by. So similarly, for cylinder, the rate of heat transfer can be given as T1 minus T2 divided by ln of R2 by R1 divided by 2 pi K mean L, where K mean is K naught of 1 plus beta T mean, where T mean is T1 plus T2 by 2. So this is the expression for rate of heat transfer for variable thermal conductivity through plane wall. Let me pause this video for a while so that people can copy it down. We have derived both temperature distribution and rate of heat transfer for a plane wall with variable thermal conductivity. Later we will solve a numerical problem. Now, moving ahead, the problem number 12 states that find the steady state heat flux through the composite slab as shown in the figure, and the interface temperature. The thermal conductivities of the two material vary with temperature as Ka is equal to 0.05 into 1 plus 0.0065 T, Kb is equal to 0.04 into 1 plus 0.0076 T. Ka and Kb are the thermal conductivities in watt per meter degree Celsius, where temperature is in degree Celsius. So we have two slabs which are subjected for steady state heat conduction, and the thermal conductivities of slab A and slab B varies with temperature, which is given for us. Now let us solve this problem to determine the heat flux and also interface temperature. So if I list out the data given for problem number 12, we have the temperature T1, which is 600 degrees Celsius, T2 is not known to us, and is given T3, which is 300 degrees Celsius, and L1 is 50 mm from the figure, so which is nothing but 0.05 meters, and L2 is 100 mm. 100 mm is nothing but 0.1 meters, and also he has specified the values of thermal conductivity, which is the function of temperature, as Ka is 0.05 times 1 plus 0.0065 T, Kb is equal to 0.04 times 1 plus 0.0076 T. Now he is asking us to calculate the value of heat flux, that is Q by A, and the interface temperature T2. Let us solve this problem. If I move for solution, for variable thermal conductivity, we know that rate of heat transfer is given by T1 minus T3 divided by, we have two conduction resistances, that is L1 by K mean 1 A plus L2 by K mean 2 A. Here suffix 1 stands for slab A, suffix 2 stands for slab B. Now, and also I want to find the values of Km, and Km1 and Km2 is also required for us, which are also unknown for us because we don't know the temperature at the interface. So since we don't know the temperature at interface, and also we don't know the value of heat flux, we cannot solve this problem. Any one of these is known, should be known for us, because we have two unknowns, Q and T2. So therefore, first let us solve for T2. So if I solve for T2 first, then I can solve for Q. So to solve for T2, we can take that Q1 to 2 is equal to Q2 to 3. This you already know for steady state heat transfer. Whereas Q1 to 2 is given by T1 minus T2 divided by resistance between 1 and 2, that is resistance of slab A, that is L1 by Km1A. This is equal to T2 minus T3 divided by L2 by Km2 into A, where Km1 is equal to K0 of 1 plus beta T mean 1. So beta 1 T mean 1, and find the value of T mean 1. T mean 1 is T1 plus T2 by 2. We know the value of K0. K0 for 1, that is for Ka, is 0.05, whereas beta is 0.0065. So therefore, if I substitute, I get T mean 1 as T1 is 600 plus T2 is not known divided by 2, which can be written as 300 plus 0.5 T2. So hence K mean 1 is turning out to be K0 is Ka 0.05 of 1 plus beta is 0.0065 times T mean. T mean is 300 plus 0.5 T2. So therefore K mean 1 is turning out to be 0.05 plus 0.05 into 0.0065 into 300, that is 0.0975 plus 0.05 into 0.0065 into 0.5, which is 1.625 into 10 to the power of minus 4. That is K mean 1, that is for K mean of slab A will be 0.05 plus 0.05 into 0.0065 into 300, which is 0.1475 plus 1.625 into 10 to the power of minus 4 T2. Now you similarly solve for Km2, that is Km2 can be written as K0 of 1 plus beta 2 T mean 2. Now T mean 2 is given by, it is for slab B, that is T2 plus T3 by 2, T2 plus T3 by 2, T2 is unknown, T3 is 300, so therefore this is 0.5 T2 plus 300 by 2 is 150. Now we know the value of K0 for B, that is 0.04, beta 2 is 0.0076, so therefore K mean 2 will become 0.04 times 1 plus beta is 0.0076, T mean 2 is 0.5 T2 plus 150. Hence K mean 2 will be 0.04 plus 0.0076 into 0.04 into 0. Into 150, which is 0.0856 plus 0.04 into 0.0076 into 0.5, that is 1.52 into 10 to the power of minus 4 T2. So we got the value of K mean 1 and K mean 2. Now by using K mean 1 and K mean 2, I can find the value of the only unknown T2. So resubstituting this in the above equation, I can cancel off area on both sides. Now if I solve, we know the value of T1. T1 is 600 minus T2 is unknown, divided by L1 is 50 mm, that is 0.05, divided by K mean 1. K mean 1 is 0.1475 plus 1.625 into 10 to the power of minus 4 T2. This must be equal to T2 is unknown, T3 is 300, divided by L2 is 100 mm, that is 0.1, divided by K mean 2 is 0.0856 plus 1.52 into 10 to the power of minus 4 T2. So hence, if I solve, I will get the value of interface temperature T2 as 600 minus alpha x into 0.1475 plus 1.625 into 10 to the power of minus 4 into alpha x. So I can send this to numerator because denominator is numerator, divided by 0.05. This must be equal to alpha x minus 300 into 0.0856 plus 1.52 into 10 to the power of minus 4 into alpha x, divided by length is 0.1. So shift solve. If I solve, I will get the value of T2 as 521.412 degrees Celsius. So therefore, the interface temperature for this composite slab is 521.412 degrees Celsius. Now I can find the heat flux. Now to find heat flux, I can find the heat flux by using only LHS of this equation, RHS of this equation, or I can use this equation. So since for steady state Q is constant, Q is equal to Q1 to 2, which is equal to Q2 to 3, I can find by taking overall, or by taking for slab A, or by taking for slab B. Let me take only for slab A and solve, which is easier for me. So therefore it is T1 minus T2 by resistance of slab A is L1 by K mean 1A. So since area is not given and also he is asking us to calculate the flux, send area to left hand side, will become Q by A is equal to T1 is 600, T2 is 521.412 divided by L1 is 0.05 divided by K mean 1. K mean 1 is 0.1475 plus 1.625 into 10 to the power of minus 4 into T2 is 521.412. So now if I solve, I will get heat flux Q by A, which is turning out to be 600 minus 521.412. Let me send the denominator to numerator. 0.1475 plus 1.625 10 to the power of minus 4 into 521.412 divided by 0.05. So therefore heat flux for this problem is 365 watt per meter square. So the heat flux for this problem is 365 watts per meter square and the interface temperature is 521.412 degrees Celsius. So this is how you should solve whenever you encounter a problem on variable thermal conductivity for a steady state heat conduction through plain water. Let me pause this video for a while so that you people can copy it down. Later we solve problem number 13. Now moving ahead, the problem number 13 states that a steam pipe of 200 mm outer diameter is carrying steam at 280 degrees Celsius. It is insulated with a material having thermal conductivity K is equal to 0.06 times 1 plus 0.0018 T, where K is in watt per meter degree Celsius and T is in degree Celsius. If the insulation thickness is 50 mm and the temperature of outer surface is 50 degrees Celsius, determine the heat flow per meter length of pipe and the temperature at the mid thickness. If I list out the data given for problem number 13, we have a steam pipe of 200 mm outer diameter. So he has given the outer diameter as 200 mm. It is carrying a steam at 280 degrees Celsius, which is insulated by material having the thermal conductivity as 0.06 times 1 plus beta is 0.0018 T. The insulation thickness is specified, which is 50 millimeters. which is 0.05 meters, and the temperature at the outer surface T naught is also given, which is 50 degrees Celsius. Now the problem is like this: we have a cylinder which is insulated for 50 millimeters, like this. Which is carrying a pipe. Let us take the temperature as T1, here the surface temperature as T3. Now he has given the radius for us, that is R1. Let us take this as R2. Now we want to calculate the value of heat flux. So the length is 1 meter. Per meter length we are calculating the flux. I don't know the length, we calculate it for per meter length. So flux is heat transfer per meter length of pipe. Sorry, is asking to calculate the heat flow itself. So therefore I should take the surface area into account, because heat is traveling in the radial direction. So he is asking us to calculate per meter length how much is the heat flow. Now first let us calculate the heat flow, since we know T1 and T3, and also we have the radius R1 and R2. So therefore directly you can solve for heat flow. And also one very important point to be remembered is that unlike when thermal conductivity is constant, we can solve for heat flow if I know temperature between any 2 points. Whereas for variable thermal conductivity, you should know the temperature between all the salient points what you have. Then only you can solve for heat flow. Now I know the temperature between the points T1 and T3 which I have. I am taking this as T3 because he is asking us to calculate in case 2 what is the temperature at the exact center, mid thickness. That we will calculate later. First we will calculate the heat flow for the given problem. So for the given problem we know that heat flow Q is equal to T1 minus T3 divided by, let me take it as T2 itself. At middle I can take it as Pm or T mid. So T1 minus T2 divided by resistance. Resistance for a cylinder is known for us, which is ln of R2 by R1 divided by 2 pi KL, whereas here I should use K mean L. Since he is asking to calculate per meter length, send length to LHS, it will become Q by L. So Q by L per meter length is equal to T1 is known, but I don't know the value of Km. So let me calculate Km also. It will become T1 minus T2 into 2 into pi into K mean divided by ln of R2 by R1. Now K mean is given by 0.06 times 1 plus 0.0018 T mean. The value of T mean is T1 plus T2 by 2, which is nothing but T1 is 280 plus T2 is 50 divided by 2, which is 165 degrees Celsius. So hence I will get the value of K mean as 0.06 into 1 plus 0.0018 into 165, which is 0.07782 watts per meter degree Celsius. Hence heat flow per meter length will be T1 minus T2. T1 is 280 minus T2 is 50 into 2 into pi into K mean. K mean is 0.07782 divided by log base E of R2 by R1. So we have R1 as 100 mm and R2 is equal to R1 plus thickness. R1 is 100 mm. That is R1 is 100 mm. 100 mm plus 50 mm is 150 mm. 150 mm. Since it is a ratio, I can substitute both in millimeters itself. It is 150 by 100. So therefore, heat flow per meter length is turning out to be 277.361 watt per meter length. So we have calculated for heat flow per meter length. Now I want to find the temperature at mid thickness. So therefore, construct a surface at middle, that is thickness by 2, and mark it as surface M. Now to find temperature at mid thickness, we know the formula that Q by L from 1 to mid thickness is equal to Q by L from mid thickness to surface 2. This is for steady state heat transfer. And also this must be equal to what? Q by L total, that is 277.316. Either I can equate 1 and 2, or I can equate 2 and 3, or I can equate 1 and 3, or I can equate 2 and 3. So we have many possibilities. You can solve whichever is convenient. If I go for this, then we'll have the unknown on both the ends. So now to avoid the tedious simplification, let me go for 1 and 3. If I go for 1 and 3, we have Q by L, which is equal to Q by L between 1 and M. Q by L is calculated, which is 277.361 between surface 1 and mid thickness. If I write, the formula will become T1 minus temperature at mid thickness divided by, let me calculate it as mid, to avoid confusion between mean and mid, divided by ln of R mid by R1 divided by 2 pi K mid, that is K mid into L. I cannot take because we have already taken L to left hand side and we call it as per meter length. Now if I solve for this, the unknowns are R mid. So radius at mid thickness is R1 plus thickness by 2, which is R1 is 100, thickness is 50, 50 by 2 is 25, therefore it is 125 millimeters. Now coming for K mid will become 0.06 times 1 plus 0.0018 T mean. So for mid thickness, T mean is equal to T1 plus T mid by 2, which is turning out to be, T1 is known for us, T1 is 280, 280 by 2 is 140 plus 0.5 times temperature at mid thickness. Now we know all the values, substitute to this equation and solve, we get 277.361 is equal to T1 is known, which is 280 minus temperature at mid thickness is unknown divided by ln of radius at mid thickness is 125 and R1 is 100 whole divided by Km. Km will become, substituting this here and simplifying, Km will become 0.06 plus 0.06 into 0.0018 into 140, that is 0.07512. plus 0.06 into 0.0018 into 0.5, that is 5.4 with 10 to the power of minus 5 t mid. So we have 2 pi, I will send it to numerator. So what I did is that 2 pi I sent it to numerator and I calculated km by substituting tm here, that is 140 plus 0.5 t mid I substituted here and simplified completely. If I simplify completely I will get this expression. Now I can calculate the value of t mid. So if I calculate the value of t mid, temperature at mid thickness is turning out to be, it is coming to be, cannot solve. Let me simplify completely and solve. Sorry, here I did a mistake, this should be plus. But in calculator while entering I entered properly. Let me simplify further and solve. If I simplify further, let me see what I am going to get. That is 277.361 into ln of 125 by 100 divided by 2 into pi. This must be equal to 280 minus t mid times 0.07512 plus 5.4 into 10 to the power of minus 5 t mid. So therefore, if I simplify completely, I will get 277.361 into ln of 125 by 100 divided by 2 into pi, which is 9.85. So 9.85 is equal to 280 into 0.07512 will be 21.03 plus 280 into 5.4 into 10 to the power of minus 5, which is 0.015 t mid minus 0.07512 t mid. Plus into minus is minus 5.4 into 10 to the power of minus 5 t mid square. Hence, we get a quadratic equation as t mid square, that is into 5.4 into 10 to the power of minus 5 minus 0.015 minus 0.07512. So minus of minus will become plus 0.06 t mid minus 9.85 minus 21.03, that is 11.18 is equal to 0. So this is what I will get. So now I can solve this by using the quadratic equation. So A is 5.4 10 to the power of minus 5, B is 0.06, C is minus 11.18. So if I solve, I will get the two roots as t mid. One answer is 162.55 degrees Celsius. T mid 2 is minus 1273 degrees Celsius. So therefore, the temperature at mid thickness is 162.55 degrees Celsius. This is because of the reason at the inner surface we have the temperature as 280, at the outer surface we have the temperature as 50. So therefore, at mid thickness the temperature should be between 280 and 50. Hence the valid answer is 162.55 degrees Celsius. So this is the complete solution. The temperature at mid thickness is 162.55 degrees Celsius, whereas the heat flow per meter length is 277.361 watt per meter. So this is how you should approach the problem whenever it is based on variable thermal conductivity. That's all from this lecture. Thank you all.